Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, happy Tuesday. Yeah, I hope you had a really good Labor Day weekend. Obviously, we were closed for the Labor Day holiday yesterday, but we are back at it today. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. We are a little short-handed. Again, I know. But just today, starting tomorrow, we'll be back at full strength. So bear with us. Lots and lots of stuff to talk about. Okay, so first, let's talk about really quickly the meeting that was going to be on Thursday. We are not going to do it on Thursday. We had a scheduling conflict. So if you're planning on being at that Thursday meeting, that meeting will be rescheduled to the following Wednesday, so the typical Wednesday. We're going to bring new people. We're going to also do dashboard training on next Wednesday. We're going to do everything up to and including getting your Coinbase accounts set up. So we want everybody, if you're listening to me, maybe you don't live in Arizona or Colorado where you can get to some of these meetings, get your Coinbase accounts set up and ready to roll. I know a lot of you have done it. Some of you have not, but that will be next Wednesday. So I just wanted to put that out there. No meeting Thursday. I'm going to be doing a different meeting on Thursday for a different group. I apologize for that, but that meeting will be the following Wednesday. Of course, if you're like, what the heck is Joe talking about? We're talking about Texit right now. But Jason, very quickly, I'm a little bit short-handed here. The phone's ringing, so let me grab the phone. Jason's going to take over.
Yeah, let's keep it busy. Texit coin is a big deal for what we're doing recently, and it's nice to wake up though and see the gold and silver prices up, hitting 3,500 gold and well into $40 silver, which means after it's an interesting time frame how Texit coin started. Gold was in that 3,300 and change, 3,350 range. Silver was kind of bounced between 39 and 3,650, and it stayed there until just about this time. I like the timing of it. It's just really good for what we're doing, Joe.
The summer lull is over with, but now the phone's ringing again. So let me go get this. I'll be right back. Okay.
And what Joe's talking about is when it comes to investors, there's a term. It's a Wall Street kind of term, but it's sell in May, walk away. And some really wealthy dudes, they'll do that. They'll liquidate their positions at a certain level, knowing that they're going to be on vacation all summer with their families. You got to think like a rich person. You take 3 or 4 months off. You do nothing, right? You go out and you get to buy your family time for an entire summer. And now we're hitting September. School's back in session. They're putting their kids, or they're going back into investing and things like that, and they start buying their positions back. Gold and silver are affected by this some as well. And gold kind of just was sitting there in that 3,300 and change range. It pushed into 34 and then just kind of, it got a little shy and came back. Silver doing the same thing. It could get right up to $39, then just kind of peter back. And it's been doing that since essentially March, even a little before March, April, And I was looking at the gold. I always check the gold and silver prices. We're not a Texit-only thing here. We're going to be selling Texit and talking cryptos probably for the foreseeable future. But the amount of Texit time that we give is going to slow down, especially after the mine sells completely through. And I'm telling you right now, gold and silver is going to perform just nicely with the things that are getting ready to happen. And so I've been doing this for about 8 years, not quite 8 years here with the Patriot Trading Group. I joined up in 2018. And I've watched a lot of remarkable things just in that time that I've been doing this on the air with Joe. And you guys are going to be looking really, really, really good when you decide to take wherever you're getting it, whether you're going to sell off some of your Texit or whatever it is and get back into gold and silver, because the timing of it really worked for us. It really worked for gold and silver guys. You know, Joey, we're going to see about people wanting to sell some of their Texit, get back into gold and silver. Joe and I might talk about maybe, hey, we might, if some of you guys want to, I know there's going to be some people that want to accumulate Texit coin. We'll talk about that a little bit. But gold and silver really performed well for us, Joe. People didn't lose a lot of gold and silver money in Texit coin. If they really want to get their gold back, it can happen. And they didn't really lose anything because the gold kind of stayed the same price. But now it's starting to move. So I think we're going to have conflicted listeners here on which asset to hold on to. And I'm going to say this. This is just my advice right now. If you have an asset that's pumping 20 to 25% every month while it's trying to sell through the mine, yeah, I know we all know that there's this risk because it's investment. Gold's not going to zero. Texit coin, things could fail. But the catastrophe aside, I really wouldn't go super heavy into selling my asset that's performing that well, Joe. I mean, I had one guy, he bought 2 of his ounces of gold back last month, and he did it the week before the price bumped. And I was looking at it, and it was like, look, that was $6,000 in gold at 25%. He lost $1,200 worth of gains. There are some gains in this. This isn't gold is savings. You don't want to miss out those gains, do you, Joe?
Oh, boy. We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more when we return. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. Let's take a quick look in at the markets right now. The Dow is down 440 points right now. The S&P is down 79. The Nasdaq's down over 300. This has to do, I think, with a lot of things. I think they're looking for reasons to sell off of this market right now. News over the weekend. One of these judges had ruled the Trump tariffs unconstitutional, and basically saying that the United States has to pay it all back. Here's the thing. It will go to the Supreme Court, and I expect, this is just my expectations, that the court will uphold the tariffs. If not, right? That's a whole different can of worms. But that kind of is where the market is right now. The 10-year note rising on that news as well. 4.28 on the 10-year note. Crude oil is higher, up $1.33. Of course, Jason was talking about gold. Right now, I've got gold up $35 more. Now, you got to remember, gold was not closed yesterday. Just we were. The TV will tell you gold's up 60 some dollars. December gold, $35.78. Spot gold, $35.11. And of course, remember the gold on TV. They show the most actively traded contracts on TV. So you got to remember, New York, right, which is what they show on TV. It is not a spot market. It's a contract market. The spot market, at least for right now, is still done in the UK, in England. That is where it is. Of course, the Chinese are saying, yeah, that's ridiculous. We buy and sell more gold than anybody. It should be here. But right now, spot gold, $35.12, up 37 right now. Silver. And again, nobody should be surprised here. Nobody. Listen, the only question I had is gold going to be $4,000 before the end of the year or next year? Right? That's it. That was the only question. Silver. I told you $40 was coming. The only question is how long until it's 50? So right now, silver is over $40. Matter of fact, way over $40. Now, here's the good part. The silver contract on TV is September. The spot price, September. Right now, 40.86 in New York. 40.70 is the spot price right now in London. And remember, the silver markets were open yesterday because it wasn't Labor Day in London. TV says silver's up like 70 cents. I'm going to tell you it's down 40. Right? Silver, spot silver yesterday got about $41. And Jason, I think it's going to go right back there. Early this morning, silver was down over $1 because it wanted to fill that gap. Did what it's supposed to do. It's been rising ever since. But it is something where any of these catalysts, and it doesn't matter. This one, well, the judge said, hey, you got these tariffs, that wasn't legal. Can't do that. There's probably a lot of validity to that. But remember, Donald Trump was using executive orders to do it. Something that, it's supposed to be an emergency. Well, I don't know what qualifies as an emergency anymore, but Jason, I'm not too worried because I think the Treasury Secretary may reach out to the Supreme Court and tell them how the cow eats the cabbage if they don't. If they got to give all that tariff money back, the issues that will cause the United States, as we already have problems in the bond. Could you imagine all of a sudden? Well, we don't get that tariff revenue. We gotta give back $100 billion that the United States doesn't have. Obviously, that would be a big effect.
Yeah. I've been listening to some stuff around the bond market, and then that also talking more about cryptos and the stable coins, as we've been mentioning. The bonds are in trouble, aren't they? Aren't they in trouble?
Well, listen, issues in the UK this morning, very, very, there's just, nobody's in good shape here. The UK now, they're trying to create the budgets. The bond market is in trouble here, right? The bond market is in big trouble. They don't like what's happened. Obviously, when we are talking about whether it's France, Germany, Japan, the United States, Jason, this seems to be a problem everywhere. Everybody's trying to spend more money than they've got, and the bond market's not liking it.
Correct. There's a lot of pressure on the bond market right now, and I don't know if they're going to, the system, the central banks that are heavily dependent upon moving bonds. I don't know if they're going to find a way to kick the can down the road, Joe. It seems like pressure on bonds is coming in every direction, isn't it? I'm trying to remember the guy. I saw a video. I should have been ready for this, but he was talking about stable coins and bonds, and he's talking about Bitcoin, and he was talking about how the bond market is being milked on the short term. Nobody wants the long term. It's really gotten. I think what's the attempt right here, Joe, is to try to get as much of that long term stuff off books. Get it, hot potato. Who can they unload it to at whatever discount? And that's going to turn into a market crash at some point. There's just so many of these 0% 30-year stuff that nobody's going to want as it's getting more and more people, Joe, in Wall Street and the traditional markets are starting to figure out, I don't think we're getting back to zero. And Trump wants everyone to believe we're going to get back there, man. We're going to get to those lower rates. And then people that have that 0% are going to feel better. But in this video, this guy, and I'm going to have to get his name. He's a big Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoin billionaire. He's one of the guys, that made it to a billionaire on Bitcoin. He says, but does it really matter? If the interest you're getting is the same as the inflation, even if you can get it there, He's like, you're a loser. You're going to have to figure out how to put your money in places that's going to make money. He's a Bitcoin guy. He's like, gold is going to outperform all this stuff by far. If you just have it sitting in gold, get it in property, put it in Bitcoin. He's like, what are you doing trying to get interest out of your bank account or on some bond? So, Joe, it's you've been yelling and screaming about this for a long time, that the bond market is weak.
Listen, I will tell you this right now. It is the worst investment of all time. Honestly, you're an idiot, and I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. You're an idiot if you have large amounts of money sitting in your bank account doing nothing. An idiot. And believe me, they want you to be an idiot. The banking system is set up to rob us. Period. Now, they want us to be more risky than we've ever been. Part of the reason why the stock market has done so well is because people are like, well, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to leave my money in the bank. I got to try to get gains. And right now, let's say the stock market hasn't been bad. The problem is it's way overpriced. Everybody knows. That's not a shock to anybody. We've seen the stock market do this how many times? And then the bust will come and people get wiped out. And everybody thinks, oh, well, I'll see it. I'll know when to get it. You never know. Matter of fact, they make sure we don't know. They get out. And listen, they've been getting it. We've been chasing. I've been telling you, listen, the billionaires been selling for over a year plus now, and they just keep selling. They love it. Yeah, keep running it up. We'll sell. Keep running. Sell. It's incredible how they have uneducated us. It's disgusting. And it's bad enough. And you read about, schools and kids can't read, they can't do math, and all this other nonsense. But I'll tell you this right now. One of the key metrics in school should be understanding how the banking system rips you off. 2% inflation. They don't give two craps about inflation. Let me tell you right now, they don't care. First, they didn't even admit. They went almost 100 years without even admitting they wanted inflation. And it wasn't until after the financial crisis, like, well, okay, we want inflation, but we just want 2%.
Zero, so zero would be nice. How about zero?
Let's do math. Yeah, let's do math. 10 years, they want you to be able to buy 20% less with the same money.
Yep.
That was what they said. Of course, they lie about what the inflation is, and we had to accept that lie. And now today, listen, this are their numbers. Inflation's 3%. And what are they going to do? Lower rates. How low? As low as they can possibly get them. Why? Because they don't care. They don't care. All they care about is their precious little system. I hope you guys see the writing on the wall. If you have money saved, put it in gold and do it now. Matter of fact, $20 gold pieces today. Spot now, $35.15. $20 gold pieces, $34.75. Yeah. Pretty good deal. Still $40 below spot. $34.75. Buy them. Then, when you're done doing that, take a flyer on Texit. Jason was talking about, listen, when we signed up, it was 40-some cents. Now it's $2.85. And, of course, I'm telling you, hey, we got about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's going to be in the threes. 330, 340. It's coming. I'm not worried about 2 weeks from now. I'm not. what is it going to look like in October, November, December? I mean, it is very, very possible that we could see $10 in December. It's crazy. $10. We shattered every record there was. 9,000 new miners in the month of August. Last week, we set every record. We broke the daily records Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, we're talking about signing up almost 500 now miners a day. Yeah, it's crazy. Just insane. Right? Liquidity continues to skyrocket. We're about 2 weeks away from the first of the mega mines going online. What does that do? It doesn't mean, listen, we already have the blockchain set up. It's going to produce about 95,000 coins a day, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. The size of the mine has nothing to do with that. But this is going to start putting us on the map for the amount of Litecoin that's mined, the amount of Doge coins that are going to start getting mined. And here's the funny thing. The second mega mine is just a couple of weeks behind. 800-951-0592. $20 gold. $40 under spot right now. $34.75 as gold is vaulted over 3,500, 3,550. And remember, we always say, not every summer, but most summers, silver and gold are pretty stagnant. And that kind of is what we saw this summer. And, of course, I told you a couple of weeks ago, get ready. As soon as the kiddos go back to school, everybody's back at work. And they're all looking. You want more craziness? Listen. The Treasury Secretary, I don't know what to think about this. Yesterday, saying that the Trump administration is considering declaring a national housing emergency in the coming months.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not a good thing.
To address the, quote, affordability crisis.
Oh, no.
Is this a precursor for rate manipulation? It kind of feels that way. Almost like the Treasury Secretary saying, listen, we're going to lower rates. We're going to force the Fed to lower the rates, but they're not going to go low enough. Because the bond market at some point is going to be like, you can lower them to zero, and we're still going to say 3%, 4%, right? I mean, I don't know, but I get that feeling. Is this an indication that the Treasury is going to try rate controls? We'll see what happens.
That sounds really bad, Joe.
It's not good. It's not a good thing. Here's
what I would see, Joe. I mean, we already got manipulation of markets, so this would be manipulating on top of manipulation. And what they're doing, they'd be price fixing against their own fixed prices. So, we're going to lower the rates so more people can buy homes. Well, that's just not going to work. And to me, Joe, this is just me. I go to my conspiratorial mind. When people are looking, it's like, look, my home was worth $600,000, and now with this rate manipulation, my value of my house just went down. Right? You might have prices crashing all over the place right when the markets give away. And then who's going to scoop up all these cheap houses before the rates go back to normal? Oh, let me guess, Blackstone and BlackRock and all the wealthy buddies of those that are working in Washington, D.C. I think a couple of years down the road, if they do this, Joe, there'll be this, once again, a short, excited market to buy homes, and it'll go very, very wrong because the rates are going up. I think we're on a multi-decade rate hiking cycle. If they come down again, which they're desperately trying, enjoy it, right, Joe? Because it ain't going to last long, and it's going to go up.
And for those of you that don't misconstrue construe what Jason just said. They're going to lower rates here, but we went essentially all the way from 1980, right, to what?
2020.
About 2020, something like that, maybe 2019, where rates went from, 20% to zero?
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't a straight line, right? There was peaks and valleys, but we went up through this 40-year rate declining cycle.
It took COVID. To plunge it right back to zero at that last time. Yeah. It took COVID to get that last zero in.
And now we're in the opposite of that. Within that, you're going to have periods of declining rates. I have no idea what this means, but nothing off the table, according to the Treasury Secretary. So this looks like it's done. They're going to do something. And, of course, the only thing I can think of on the affordability side is somehow they're going to pretend if you're buying a house that you don't have to pay the going rate. That's all kind of like the new home builders, right? They have their own little bank. They can kind of say, well, I know the mortgage rate's 7%, but if you buy a new home from us, we'll give it to you at 5%. I don't know. Is this something that the government's going to step into here?
Joe, I mentioned up to a year ago, and I mentioned once in a while, that I believe they're going to loosen the big bank regulations, and they're going to be able to print the money inside the big banks. Yeah. This would work inside of that, because then they can set the rate on how much they want to print and borrow or loan out. Think about how this would work, Joe. They're going to have to ease these bank. I think they're going to ease those bank regulations.
Troubling.
These big banks will blow the money out.
Home prices were set to fall, and they're going to make sure they don't, which is extremely troubling to me, because it really almost and again, here's what they know. They need inflation. They need it badly because they want to grow this economy, and they know they can't get the growth that they need without, if housing and cars are dead, right? I mean, you just can't. So it's going to be extremely interesting. This is what's been pushing the gold markets, the silver markets as well.
It's frustrating, Joe.
None.
It's frustrating, Joe, because the growing of the market you're talking about is for the smaller percentage of people. They're not growing the market for the average guy walking around.
No.
They're going to suck it out of their blood, sweat, and tears. Growing the market
sounds really good, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound great? Oh, yeah, they're going to make housing more affordable. Listen. Lowering a housing rate by 1 or 2% will help a few people, regular people. But that's not who it's for. Who's it really going to help? Really, honestly.
Yep.
It's the people that got money that most people don't have. Oh, I'm going to buy a second rental house, a third rental house. I'm going to buy a second home, a third home, right? This is who it's going to help.
Those who can hold assets. Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of Trump fans listening, but does it really make you feel good that his family made $6 billion yesterday? Yesterday, his coin got out there. Oh, we're not going to sell this pre-mined coin. We own whatever 50% of the damn thing. We're not going to sell it.
Oh, they sold.
Well, and even if they hold it doesn't matter. They sold to their rich buddies.
The coin was down big because...
when they made the coin, Joe, they pre-sold it to qualified buyers at 1.5 cents.
Yeah.
And they were selling yesterday at 25 cents, 30 cents. I mean, great. We're all for people making money. But they're taking and they're using their assets to better themselves, and that's growth. Oh, look at the growth. Look at the growth, Joe. Well, that was some big growth yesterday, right? But did the average person who bought into this yesterday, are they going to see that kind of growth, Joe, in a coin that's not made the right way? Uh-oh, right? It stinks. This is why we do gold and silver, right, Joe? This is why we're doing Texas coin. It's different. It's better for you. Made for the average guy, Joe.
800-951-0592. Jason and I. We'll be right back right after the break. 1-800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. Gold's up like $39 here, $35.15. $20 gold, $34.75. Silver, here it comes, down about 40 cents, $40.75. Again, TV, silver's up 90 cents at $41.10. By the way, that is a silver September contract. Interesting. That gap will close. My guess is we're going to see $41 silver. Well, it ain't stopping at 41. Here's the deal. We sold those Maple Leafs last week. Remember, below spot. I've got 12 rolls of silver Maple Leafs. Remember, there's 25 ounces in a roll of Canadian silver Maple Leafs. 25 ounces. $1,000 today. That's $40 an ounce. That's 75 cents below spot. That is $2 below cost until they're gone. Get on it at 800-951-0592. My only question is, how long is it going to take for that same roll of Canadian Maple Leafs to be $1,300, $1,400?
We might be looking
it's going to be.
We might be looking at $50 silver pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At $50,
gotta be there.
Just melts $1,250.
I think the only question on silver, since it's busting towards 41 now, is will it stay in the $40 range for a meaningful amount of time before it busts 50? When it hits 50, I really think 60 is possible, especially somewhere in the 50s higher, like 55 or 58.
Right.
So we could be looking at a huge silver jump. And I'll tell you what, gold will probably have some running room as well.
Well, I've already said it. The only question for gold is when is 4,000 get here? Is it in 4 months, 6 months, 8 months? And silver, I think Jason's probably right. We'll see 60. And then I'm hoping there's a consolidation in silver in the $50 area, which was its previous all-time high. Unfortunately, I think $100 is now on the table, right? Is it going to go from 40 to 100 in a straight line? No. But $100 silver is now probably obviously we got to break 50, break the all-time high, but we're ready to start talking about $100 silver, which, that roll of Maple Leafs melt would be $2,500 at that point. So they're at $1,000, 75 cents below spot. Got more than $2 below cost at 800-951-0592. Continue to add here. Every time I look, I don't want to keep looking. It just keeps going higher. 800-951-0592. Get into text it here. Remember, I keep telling you, what have I been saying? You need more income. Period. Obviously, yeah, you need more income in retirement. You're going to need more income to live here. Period. This mine that we've been helping build and grow will be full in less than 6 months. Full. Now, yeah, keep seeing people are talking 5 months. I hope it's 6. This is the last opportunity. Once it's full, the opportunity to earn monthly ends. The mine will be full when we have sold 100 million megahash. Each 100 megahash is $995. The maximum you can buy is 27 of those, which, by the way, is $995 times 27. That's the most you can buy, $26,865. That is the most you can buy. You can earn more hash if you refer people. That's it. That's all it is. It's not a Ponzi. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. No, it's not. It's none of those things. It's none of those things. They just were crowdfunding this mine, and you get rewarded if you tell others. Period. Simple. Here's the thing. We're already over 21,000 miners. We added 9,000 miners in the month of August. We almost added more miners in a month than they did in the first 18 months of this project. This is how fast it is going now. We'll be at 50,000 miners in October. Here's the problem. Here's what I was told yesterday, because I've been pushing back on this timeline. They said once the mine hits 50% full, it will be 100% full in a month. And I'm like, wait a minute. We're almost 10% here already. Heck, we could be 50% full by December, which would mean January. This opportunity to earn income daily ends when the mine is sold out. Don't let it pass you by. We'll be back. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Gold's up $43. 35.18. Still got 20s at 34.75. Silver 40.78. Silver Eagles now are 78 cents under spot. Under spot. Forget about cost. At $1,000. At 800-951-0592. And then, of course, text it. You need income. You're going to need it. Telling you right now. Especially with Social Security. I don't know if you've seen what's going on. It's not good. The Social Security system continues to be put in jeopardy. By the way, today we had the largest cut in food stamp benefits, I think, ever. As the Trump, they're trying to save money, right? But one thing about the food stamp benefits, that money got spent. It's going to be interesting how that plays out. They need cuts to Medicaid and Medicare, and really all it is trying to cut to the growth of it. Let me just break it down for you. I'm going to keep it simple. If you bought one share, $995, you're going to end up with, in February, the mine will be full. You're only going to be getting basically just under a tenth of a coin a day. So every 10 days, you're going to end up with one coin. But Bobby thinks when the mine is full that the price of Texit is going to be somewhere in the $40 or $50 range. Right? That's, think about it right now. It's only $2.85, $40 or $50. That'd be $4 or $5 a day. You're like, well, God, that's not a ton of money. No, you're right. But $5 a day, that's $1,800 a year. That's doubling your money every year.
Joe, I was talking to a Texas sign-up for the unpack yesterday during the holiday.
Yeah.
And she has $750 that she's mined from her unpack. She's got it a couple months. And I said, look, if Bobby Gray is right and next year it's $100, your 750 of coins you just currently have, not the ones you're going to keep mining, is $24,750 next year at $100.
Yeah.
And then I just multiply that with a zero on it, because if it hits $1,000 in 2027, I said, if you keep your coins and it does what Bobby Gray is pushing for, and it goes to $1,000 at any time, but let's just say 2027, which is great, $247,000 on a one pack. We're talking crazy things.
And I'm just solely talking about the day. Forget about all the coins you've mined before that. Every day. The price target right now is $100 for August of next year. You mean for $995 I can be getting $10 a day? Right? Think about it, right? I make my money back every 90 days over and over and over and over. Yeah. Now imagine if you went in on the 27 pack, because they give you 11 shares for every 9. Well, that's 3 nines. That's 33 of them. And then, of course, you're going to get a bonus for that the way we set it up. Jason, I got a way to set up for you new people to give you 36 coins. Well, now all of a sudden when the mine is full, right? Think about this. You're going to be getting almost 3.5 coins a day. What? Yeah. How bad would it suck if you were making, I don't know, $34 a day every day? Well, try it out. Call us, Jason.